When the first flakes fall, you want to be ready. Today on SledHead 24/7, our team of experts share the latest news on how to prepare for the snowmobile season. We'll help you get your sled ready with state-of-the-art gear and gadgets and ideas. Looking for a great riding destination? We'll steer you to the world's greatest places to ride with world-class riders. Thinking about buying a new sled? Check out the latest news from our test riders. Ride, rate, and review. It's what we do. We're prepping for the upcoming season, and SledHead 24/7 is ready to ride.
I cannot wait to get back out and ride. Jeff, the season is almost here.
Yeah, Haley, and that's a theme for this show, prepping for the season.
And speaking of prepping your sled, give me a quick tip on what I need to know.
Well, one thing, a funny story, we opened up the panels checking it, and a mouse jumped out, so check for critters.
And is there a particular sled that I should try out this winter?
Well, there's a lot of them. We had a chance to ride all the 2020s this spring, and we rode some of the best. 2020 Polaris is giving us the XCR, XC, and the 129 track length. Now this is basically the same snowmobile chassis that's winning all kinds of cross-country races right now.
Well, I had this thing on the Groom Trail. It worked wonderful in that, holds the corners really well, but then we did finally find some really rough stuff. And the thing I most noticed with this Polaris is as you're going, it's really rough, you know, so you're on the gas and trying to stay on top of the bumps, and it will still bite and turn. So, you know, that was one thing that some of the others lacked a little, is it felt like there was no ski pressure. So the Polaris has done a wonderful job of, it will turn, but it doesn't feel too bitey in the front end.
This is a race-proven chassis last year, and now we have it with the 850 Patriot in it. Now this is just a blast. This thing will take every bump we could find and then some. Lays flat on the trails, but yet you could pound the bumps just like you would in a cross-country race, and the thing takes it.
One of the things I'm most proud of for our team in particular is the way that we try to listen to the customers. So what we are building is not something that just makes sense to us in Roseau, Minnesota. It's what makes sense really to all of our customers all across the globe. And so we spend a lot of time riding with customers and talking to dealers and really trying to listen. We are not always the primary customer for every sled or snow bike that we build, but we know how to find those customers and listen to what really matters to them. And I'm so excited and proud of the way that the team has delivered the things that matter the most.
You know, this chassis has nice wide running boards, and it's cut out, almost reminds me of a mountain board. So for snow and ice evacuation, so when you're riding for long distances, you don't want snow and ice buildup on your running boards that you have to kick away, especially in race situations. You want to be able to have your feet planted and not slipping around. You know, really completes this package is the Walker Evan Velocity shocks. Now that's not the needle shocks we've had in the past. What this is where they put the reservoir on the shock body is where it'll stiffen up, almost like a ride sensitive type or a ride position shock. But that's how they can control how quick this thing collapses out. So big bumps, this thing is fantastic. You know, we're running the 850 Patriot engine in this one, which is fantastic. Throttle response is just out of this world. The thing accelerates. So now when you're accelerating hard like that, you also need a way to stop. The Hayes brake system will do that for you. This brake is so positive feeling. Coming into the corners, a couple taps of the brake, you can set that thing in the corner and away you go. You know, bottom line, this machine will act and do a lot of things in the trails, rides nice in the trails and the big bumps. The person who's really going to appreciate this shock package in this chassis will be a fairly aggressive rider, the guy who wants to do some ditch banging, but yeah, wants to cruise and be smooth down the trail.
When our Prepping for the Season edition of SledHead 24/7 roars back, we'll share some time-honored ideas for great riding destinations. For big fish, preparing for the season started back in September at Hay Days, the unofficial start of the season. But the official over-the-top snowmobile celebration in Minnesota. Please stay tuned. SledHead 24/7 is brought to you by AmSoil, Runs on Freedom, by Polaris, by FXR, maximum versatility for all conditions, and powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Jeff, we're talking about prepping for the upcoming season. Where can I go to map out my winter destinations?
You know, that's a good question, Haley. Go on SledHead 24/7's website, and there we have links to different riding areas and current riding conditions. But if you want to see our favorites, check it out.
The beauty of Minnesota's North Shore, undisputed. Along the shores of mighty Lake Superior, the SledHead 24/7 Ram delivers us to another great riding destination. Our adventure starts north of Two Harbors, Minnesota, on the C.J. Ramstead Trail. This trail runs 146 miles from Duluth, Minnesota to Grand Marais, winding through the forests on the ridgeline overlooking Gitchagumi. The trail provides access to some of the most rugged and beautiful scenery in Minnesota and connects snowmobile club trails and communities in North Country. Named for the late great C.J. Ramstead, known as Mr. Snowmobile, C.J. was a journalist and a snowmobile ambassador. Today, the spirit of C.J. lives on, mile after beautiful mile. The trails lead to plenty of interesting places, and Billy's is one of many. This cozy spot has been serving up burgers to hungry snowmobilers for close to 3 decades.
Just a little country bar. It's an urban garlic cream cheese that goes on the Billy burger. It's just ooey and gooey and nummy. It's good stuff.
French fries, a little bit of seasoning.
Urban garlic cream cheese, 3rd pound Angus patty, and fresh cut French fries.
Back on the trail, our ride takes us to places you could never visit in the summer, over bogs, swamps, and into the backlands. Looking for more riding options in the Midwest? For early snow, head to the UP. That's right, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Thanks to its location near the Great Lakes, it's home to some of the heaviest snowfall in the country.
Some of the best snowmobiling you'll ever find in the country up here.
The snow sparkles up here, they're like diamonds. It's just beautiful.
Just like driving through a painting.
Our Ram delivers us and our sleds to some amazing sights, sounds, and natural wonders of Yooperland. In search of reliable trails, check out northern Wisconsin and Hayward for a classic northern woods experience. The Hayward Groom Trail System is one of the largest in the world and home to one of the biggest adventures that a rider can dream of. It turns out this may be the perfect way to see North Country from the front seat of a snowmobile and a Ram truck. To enhance your riding destinations, check out the latest riding apps available. Here's the Polaris Ride Command, and it's one app SledHead 24/7 can easily recommend. Polaris Ride Command now features color-coded ratings to help snowmobilers pinpoint the best place to ride and let others know what kind of conditions they faced. Yet another way to help you prepare for the season. Just what is Big Fish up to at Haydays? Preparing for the snowmobile season, and his tour de force awaits. Later, what sled should you consider this season? A no-holds-barred test ride with surprising results just around the bend.
While we're talking about prepping for the upcoming season, Jeff, the season really already began at Haydays. I was there and man, what a good time.
Yeah, you know, how much fun is Haydays? To get together with 50,000 of your closest friends and family and talk snowmobiles. You know, we're walking around Haydays checking out all the stuff that's new. Let's go check out what's new at SkiDoo.
Welcome to Haydays 2019. Yesterday we introduced the new SkiDoo race sled, so we'll go over some of the changes that were part of that package. You'll notice on the front of the vehicle right now, we've turned the shock reservoirs inward. Reason being is that you get into a first turn, sometimes it get kind of messy in there. We don't want anybody getting hit in the side and knocking off the reservoir and actually breaking it. The new base valve has high and low speed compression adjustments, plus high and low speed rebound adjustments. We also have a new rail design this year. It's a little sturdier. I mean, the snowcross races, they're really hard on equipment, so you get to find the limits of stuff really quickly. We've added a new brake backer plate in here. Holds the brake a little more rigid. It's easier to service that way. The more we can do to keep the sled durable and easy for the riders to maintain, the better. Last year was really successful for the SkiDoo race team. This year, with some of the changes we've made to the sled, we expect it to be even better. It's been very durable for us. It's been very fast. So all the changes we made have take that next step, because in racing, nothing ever stands still.
Hey guys, Jay Menaberry here, standing next to this beautiful Summit Expert. We've got Kashima coated shocks with a little bit stiffer valving package, so it really improves the handling. Smaller bar diameter, which is a small detail, but I really liked that last spring when I rode it. Shorter riser, which is sweet for technical riding. Got an adjustable limiter strap, so you can change the way the sled transfers, you know, almost on the fly, so that's really cool. A shorter tunnel package, which makes the sled more nimble. You know, it doesn't drag through the snow as much. So this sled is built for the technical tree rider, you know, deep snow, big mountain stuff. I cannot wait to ride mine.
You know, there's a lot of excitement over here at Polaris with their new Riot snow bike kits to their expansion of their 850s. So let's go check it all out. You know, I had to come sit on the chaos and bring back a little memories from this spring riding and putting some miles on these. This is a very fun sled. It's playful, but yet it holds a line, and the 850 power plant is an absolute riot.
So I'm pretty stoked on the new Little Ripper. I think I'm more stoked because I'm gonna ride it, but originally I got it for my son. But I feel like I'm gonna have more fun on it. But yeah, stoked to, you know, have a kit that my kid can follow me around when we go trail riding and stuff, and you know, get him started in the passion that I love.
One of the riders in the video that you can see online said it's just like my dirt bike. When you ride it, you're active on the bike. Your body movements translate into traction and terrain changes. It's got all of the drivetrain updates, so the jack shaft is more compact, there's less moving parts. Riot comes in two models. This is the base model with Timber Sled fully rebuildable aluminum body IFP shocks. These are Timber Sled design shocks. And then the LE model comes in colors, and it's got QS3 shocks that lets you adjust the personality of the bike, depending on the terrain that you're in. If you want a hill climb, if you want to wheelie more, you can set it up for wheelie mode, just soft in the back and stiff in the front, or bombing down the trail. It gives you a lot of different options, just in 3 clicks on each shock.
Making everyone jealous. There you go, bud. It's killer heydays this year. So cool to see. I mean, everybody is so fired up for winter this year, and it's awesome to see.
Ride, rate, and review. That's what we do at SledHead 24/7. Our team of experts is queued and ready to help you prepare for the new season with the latest news on best sleds for your riding location. SledHead 24/7 is brought to you by AmSoil, Runs on Freedom, by Rocks, your rider position specialists, by Stud Boy, traction with an attitude, Ziegler Cat, exceptional service backing the best equipment, and by the U.S. Air Force, Aim High.
At Heydays, we learned all about 2020 sleds. Jeff, I want to know more about the sleds I should be riding this winter. Got any ideas?
I have all kinds of ideas. We had a chance this spring to ride all the 2020s, where we had a chance to ride, rate, review, and we did it for you. You know, there's a lot of hype from SkiDoo on this Expedition Extreme. I went and saw it down in Texas. Didn't get to ride it down there, but I got to touch it, sit on it, to see what it was all about, hear their stories on what kind of machine it is. So it really piqued my interest.
This thing is a little different than anything I've rode, but it is cool. It's got a 20-inch wide track, so it's more of like, you know, if you got an ice hut or you need to go get some firewood or something like that, you know, this thing is plenty strong to hook onto it, pull it out onto the ice. You know, and it runs strong, and it really does. For as big as this machine is, it doesn't feel that riding it. So, you know, you can do all that stuff in the morning, and then if you want to go out, hit the trails later with the wife and kids or whatever, I mean, this sled would be perfect to do so.
In the Expedition line, what we're seeing is an evolution towards a more versatile snowmobile. So these snowmobiles are going to be, basically what I would say is that they're going to go beyond, far beyond, where a typical utility sled has gone in the past. You've got a snowmobile now in the Extreme that you can go play in the deep snow like a Summit. You can go in the backcountry like a Backcountry X or an XRS. Yet it's got that big wide track, and you can tow a load with it. You can carry all kinds of cargo on it. So it's a multi-purpose snowmobile, and it's a ton of fun. You can get it with 3 different Rotax motors. So you've got your choice of power, whether it's a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke. You can even get the 150 horse turbo in it. And yet you can customize this sled to do all the tasks you have to do, and then quickly remove those pieces that you needed to do the work and go out and have fun on it. And that's the key to these snowmobiles, is that it allows you to do all the fun stuff and accomplish all the work you need to accomplish at the same time. Minor, quick adjustments, customizations available that's really easy to do, and that's what people were looking for. Give me a snowmobile that does it all. The versatility is what they're really seeking.
You know, the accessories are just endless on this machine. They came out with a bunch of new accessories just for this machine. Now they have the link system, and they have a wide and the narrow, and they made it so that even anybody who has some older link stuff will fit on the back of this. So you have a chainsaw, you can have a box with a divider in it, you can put your hatchet, your axe, you name it, whatever you need to do, this thing's gonna do it.
The Expedition line has 25 new accessories to customize that vehicle for the way you want to use it. There's a great big cargo box on it that's got thoughtful things like a place to carry an axe on one side and a saw on the other. Those are tucked in so they won't catch on trees or anything as you're going by them. That box has really been huge input from riders and users of utility sleds, whether it be in Russia, whether it be in Scandinavia, North America. We surveyed all of those people to come up with these accessories and to build this sled so it would fit their needs. And that's very key. We try to listen to the consumer and tell us what is it you need, and then we try to anticipate where we can take it even further, one step.
Bumper to bumper, from the articulating rail so you can back up in the snow, to it's the 1.8 track, which when you accelerate, that thing, it wants, the front end gets light, which is just a blast. And the guys at SkiDoo told me, oh yeah, it has a lot of characteristics like the Summit, so why wouldn't I? I put it in the deep snow. I did some side hill, did some power turns, and I was really surprised. That thing really did a lot of things. So bottom line is, you can use it as a utility machine, go out and do chores, and then you can meet up with your buddies and go put on a bunch of miles on the trails or back in the mountains in the powder. That thing kind of does it all. That thing's about as most versatile snowmobile that I've seen any manufacturer build yet.
Those are some good looking sleds. The snow is falling, it's about time to go back riding, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and it won't be long now.
If you have story ideas, hit us up on social media. We want to ride where you ride.
Till next time, see you on the trails.
That's about all we can squeeze into today, but we're always live on SledHead24-7.com. Please hit us up on social media and pitch a story idea or place to ride. Log on to SledHead24-7.com. Watch our library of episodes. Next week, we're heading to the mountains. At 9,000 feet, the world becomes a whole lot different. Get ready for a life, mind, and body-altering experience as we celebrate mountain riding.